Hi, Eric Gibaud, ericgibaud.com, and today I'm going to present something that for months they've been asking. Please give me your opinion. The variable ND filter non-stop by KFConcept. Let's start. You probably recognize the place. Well, even if you don't see the video at the same time, I recorded just about a while ago and some minutes ago the noise filter I tested. So here's the review if you want. Here I also used the carbon filter. I made a review also, I'll leave you the link here. So here's the variable ND filter. As always, magnetic box. You open it, then you have a small specific pouch. As always, I open, I pull the small ribbon, and here I got the filter. So I'm going to show you how it works. There are about two ways to use ND variable ND filter. So I will show you the result and tell you more about it, technical specs and all this. So this is the filter. So many people think variable ND filter are ND filters, and really they are not ND filter. There are two polarizers, and when you move them like this, as you can see the sky, when they get to 90 degrees from each other, it becomes completely black, as you can see right now, okay? So you actually move, here you have a knob here, you actually move it, and you place it so it crosses or not, okay? So why do you need that? Why not a fixed ND filter? Well, the origin of this is for video. You can actually use it for photography, but the origin is for video. Why? When you make a video, your shutter speed should be twice the frame rate you're using. If you're doing 25 images per second, your shutter speed should be 1/50th of a second. If you make 60 frames per second, it should be 1/20th of a second, the shutter speed, okay? So it means if you lock your shutter speed, your ISO is already at the lowest, and you want to have an open aperture, there's no way to cut the light. The only way is to place a filter, an ND filter. So you could place a fixed ND filter, but let's say I do a panning like this, and here I've got more light and there less light. If I'm doing video, I need to tune that on the fly. So if I go like this, I can actually move my shutter, I can move, my ND filter at the same time to keep the right exposure. Why can't I have higher shutter speed? Well, right now I've put a higher shutter speed so you can see. If I do this, as you can see, my hand is a bit shaky like this. So if I want to have that cine look, I need to have an aperture shutter speed that is twice the frame rate, not higher than that, okay? So if I want to have this cine look, I need this. I need to cut back. Can I use it for photography? Yes, you can. But, okay, first of all, if you look at the filter, here is graded from ND2 to ND400. I've got a small dilemma because to me ND400 is like 8.5 stops and KF say 9 stops, so I'm not sure. Well, so just you to know, okay, it's go from ND2 to ND400, okay? So can I use that for photography? Yes, you can, but here as you can see you have dots that indicate what ND you're on, but it's not really locked, okay? It's not perfectly locked. So maybe you touch it without seeing and then you've moved it, okay? So it's really maybe better for video. But let's say you don't have the budget for fixed ND filters for photography, and you have just money for this, and you want to do both video and photography. Can you use it? Yes. As they are polarizer, when at 90 degrees, the maximum cross, sometimes you will see a black darkened cross on your picture. In video, very often you don't see it because you actually move. But on photography, you really see it. I will give you some more specs about the product and then some demo so you see how it works in video and photography. So, but this is really a great product. So now I've put the filter on ND2, just one stop at 2.8 aperture, ISO 100. It gives me a shutter speed of 3200th of a second, which is really too fast. I'll show you the effect, okay? As you can see, it is really shaky. This is no good for a cine look, okay? Okay, now let's try on 1/50th of a second, which is the speed I need. So, KFConcept says there's no cross when you, no vignetting, no cross. And if you go to the last dot, when you count 9, that's right. So if you go over it, they don't say you should go over it, but if you go over it, then you do see some kind of cross appearing, okay? So I recommend you don't go over the dot that's marked, otherwise you'll get a cross, okay? I'm just right now, okay? So now I'm going to go in front of it so you see the cinematic look, if it's smooth or not. As you can see, this is a lot smoother, okay? Now I'm going to show you the cross problem that every viable ND filter has. If you go over the mark, that's why they have a mark here, don't pass it, okay? So right now, no cross, okay, so you have an ID. Okay, and now I'm going direct to the cross. As you can see, it gets really cross, dark cross. This is not a KF problem, this is any viable ND filter problem, okay? So this is why they mark you where you should stop and not go over, okay? So you see, so you can see that you can do long exposure. Obviously, this is not the right time for long exposure. You should use an ND1000 10 stop. I'll leave you a review here. But just to check, I've closed my aperture down to f22, so we can have about two seconds, okay? So you see, it's not the typical silky water. Can you use it for photography? Yes, you can. Probably it's better to use a proper ND filter at this time of the day, okay? So, some technical details. Well, the glass used is imported from Japan. Usually they use German glass, this one is Japanese glass. I don't know the difference. I see the quality is fine. It's treated, coated, anti-reflection. It's nanotech coated, nanotech technology used to coat it. So it means it's anti-reflection, anti-water, and well, waterproof and oil-proof. So it means it can fall anything on you. It will go off the filter with no problem, okay? It doesn't do vignetting, doesn't do cross, but beware. Many people, when they criticize, they go over the limit and they will say, yes, it crosses, and yes, it has vignetting. Obviously, if you go over the limit that is indicated, you will get it. You will get it on this one and on absolutely any viable ND filter, okay? So beware, don't go over that, because otherwise you will get the result you were expecting. We don't recommend this filter. For video, yes, this is the kind of filter I use and like, okay? For photography, you can actually use it, but I would prefer myself to use square filter or round filter, but dedicated ND filter, not variable. I'll give you a link to the ND filter ND1000 10 stop I made. I'll give the link here. And I think they're really useful, but if your budget is limited and you can get only one filter for video and photography, then yes, you can get this one, okay? If you have budget for just photography, or you're going to do just photography, maybe the magnetic filters I reviewed here would be more useful to you, okay? So the quality is great, beware, don't go over the limit, but this is a good filter. I think for video, this is exactly the kind of filter I use, I really like, okay? So thank you KFConcept for sending me the filter. Thanks to you for watching the video. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a button down here and also a small bell. If you click on the bell, get notified when I upload a new video. My website, Gibaud.com. If you have any question, you can leave a comment below. Also leave you links of other part of my YouTube channel, links to other products from KFConcept, also links of my gear on Amazon. Also leave you a link of my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye. Take care. Bye.